What's going on, everybody? It's Matt Merenoff, my co-host, as always, Lee Perlman Esq, and our special guest tonight. It does say Dan Zitofsky, but it's actually Daniel Matthew.
Wow, we're going deep. We're going deep. Thanks so much. It's great to be on here. I've been looking forward to being on with you and Lee for weeks now. I couldn't wait to get on here. I do a lot of events, but I know this one's going to be rock solid fun and have a good time. I'm going to drop a ton of knowledge for the people on the call.
I just want to, before we get going, I want to do the intro. So tonight, instead of reading it and fumbling through it, I'm really excited.
Hey guys, on tonight's episode, March 24th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I've got my buddy Dan Zitofsky coming on. Dan is one of the leaders in the real estate industry, and I got to tell you, he's got over 30 years plus going. This guy's done over 3,000 transactions, and he's helped so many people. He's been involved in wholesaling, fix and flips, rentals, multifamilies, notes, you name it. He's always had his hand in it. And he's one of those guys that tries to help and definitely tries to pay it forward. He's actually showing people right now how to raise $1 million in 90 days or less. Well, take it from someone who's not just on the sidelines teaching it. This guy's built passive wealth. He's got a portfolio worth over $10 million in assets, with over $60,000 a month positive cash flow coming in. So definitely tune in March 24th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get excited.
What's going on, guys? That's a lot of intro. I'm not going to lie. We got him. Passed up to prosperous.
Man, I love it. I love it.
Convertible takes the cake.
That is awesome. I mean, man, I'm pumped. I don't even need my music anymore. I'm pumped.
That's it. So, all right. We got a couple of people commenting here, which I think is kind of fun. I got to figure out how to get out of this thing because
I know we have a lot of people coming on that I know. I'd love to see when people are on, if they, when instead of Facebook user, throw their name in there so we know who it is.
Absolutely.
Let's get personal.
Yep. Somebody else just commented they love the book. So, guys, it's no secret I know Dan for a very long period of time. As a matter of fact, I was questioning whether or not I should show a video of Dan and the friendship Dan and I have, but I couldn't find the video, so I think I find the picture.
That's G-rated. Thank God.
This is Dan trying to kiss me. Such a weirdo. Anyway, Dan, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Oh, my God. Guys, I cannot tell you how excited I am. Like I said, we get asked to do a lot of these, and we don't take on every one of them just for obvious reasons, but some of them are just kind of like all business. I knew this was going to be fun with you and Lee. I mean, I watched your show last time. It's just, and I just like to let the hair down and have some fun and drop a lot of knowledge while doing it. There's no reason you can't have fun while dropping knowledge and making money in doing so. I'm all about that. So I'm looking forward to doing this, and I'm open book at this point. Anything you guys want to know, just ask away. And I just want to drop a ton of knowledge and content for your audience.
Yeah, we wanted to talk a little bit about, you've done a lot of deals in your lifetime. You've been involved in rental properties and fix-uppers and commercial properties. But Matt and I were really, we talked a little bit about understanding your process and getting a deal completed and to the finish line. I know there's a lot you can say there, but talk to us about, what some of those features and benefits that you look for to get a deal really to the end of the field.
That's a great question. In fact, I just talked about it on my webinar yesterday for my mastermind. One of the hardest deals I've ever done in my career, of about 3,000 deals in 30 years, just closed about a week and a half ago because there was so many moving parts in the deal. So I look, one is all we are, and I tell people all I am is really a problem solver. If you can learn how to solve people's problems, you can get to a deal. But my ultimate deal, the deal that fits in my buy box, is something in an emerging, what I call an emerging market, a class B plus area. So anywhere in those blue to white collar areas that I have multiple 8 to 9 exit strategies on. And everything for me, I stopped becoming a transactional investor years ago. Not to say I don't still do transactional type deals. If they don't fit in my buy box, I will wholesale, I'll hotel deals, I'll fix and flip a couple of deals. But most of my stuff has to be passive income. So either it's a rental property, it's a seller finance property to an investor, it's a note. I look to do those type of deals right now because right now, to me, just like the book says, passive to prosperous, it's that passive income to live in that prosperous life. And anyone that knows my story, that read my book, that heard me speak on stage, knows what my life was like before. When I speak on stage, if my wife happens to be there, I can't help but crying when I look at her because of what I have now compared to what I had years ago. I thought years ago I had the best life. You would think you had the best life in the world. I'm doing 50 to 80 deals a year, fix and flips. I'm making no less than 40,000 because if it was less than 40,000, I'd wholesale it. Most of the time, I'm netting over 70,000 a deal, and I'm doing 50 to 80 of those a year. Now, figure it out. I'm doing multiple 7 figures a year. I drove the nicest cars people can think of, most beautiful watches, boats. I had it all. But the one thing I didn't have was my life, what I really wanted. So I'm so focused with my groups and my masterminds and those I teach. And even when I talk to Matt all the time, it's your why and your vision. Those are the two things I focus on. If it does not fit my vision, I don't care how much money I can make. I've told Matt no before. I say no all the time. So for me, it's all about passive income so I can live the life I want to live. Like, I mean, summer's coming. I have a beach house. I got a couple rentals down at the beach now. I live down at the beach on the boat and on the water literally all summer long. And I'm looking to be traveling a lot more in the next year. Next year, my daughter will graduate high school. I'll get to travel a lot more, God willing. I'm healthy, and I get to do that. So really, I know it's a long answer, but I want people to say it's not just about passive income. It's everything has to fit my vision. I'm so laser focused on my vision and my why, and a deal has to fit that, or otherwise I just don't get involved. I'll get rid of it.
Yeah, I mean, you essentially have a whole different way or perspective of looking at business, which is it's unique. I like it. I like it.
And I got to be honest, it's not something that came easy. I mean, I probably close to 20 years before I figured it out. And at first it was all, it was my ego. I was trying to feed my ego. I was trying to be that most successful person out there. And to me, success meant driving the nicest cars, having the most beautiful boat, showing off. I was showing off. I mean, I'm going to be most people won't be honest like that. I was showing off because I felt like I was successful. I was the man. Until my wife basically said at that point, she goes, "You're not a good husband. You're not a good father. You're not there for your kids." And it kind of stabbed me in the back. I remember that day like it was yesterday. And I talk about it on stage. And it was like, I remember like it was yesterday. And I still tell that, you'll hear me tell that story all the time. I dropped to my knees and I started crying because I didn't know what to do. I had no idea what to do. And I didn't want to be, I grew up in a tough life. I didn't want to grow up. I didn't want to be the same parent that I grew up under. So, and I thought I was doing everything right. Meanwhile, I was doing everything wrong, right? So a lot of people here, it doesn't just have to be in real estate. A lot of people here are working a ridiculous amount of hours. They're chasing money instead of chasing their why. And if you ask people why they're doing what they do, it's generally because I don't want to work that 9 to 5. I don't want to be stuck in corporate America. I don't want to be miserable. I want to spend time with my wife, my family, my kids, my grandkids, my friends, if they're single, whoever it is. But if their vision says this, right? But their actions are going this way, right? So they're so unaligned. And once people start figuring that out, their life gets so much better, so much better.
It seems to me that you're involved a lot, in reading your profile and getting a chance to meet and talk to you. You really enjoy the mentoring aspect of what you do. I mean, I can see your enthusiasm for that. I think that's great.
Well, I love it because, this is funny because years ago, it's probably about 8, 9 years already ago, that people would ask me to mentor them. And I just kept saying no. Because I didn't feel like I had anything to mentor people with. Right? I really didn't. And I have 2 mentors. I spend over 6 figures a year in mentorship and group and attending events. And it's the best thing I ever did. And what one of my mentors told me, and I still love him for what he told me, he says, you're actually, he slapped me in the face. And he's like, you're actually being selfish, not sharing what you know. Because what you know, if you know a little bit more than somebody else, you can help them. And over the years, I've changed the way I've mentored people, right? So it's not about, for me, it's not about money. And if people understand, I don't charge nearly what I used to charge in mentorship because it's not about money. I truly, at this point, and I'm not saying this to impress anybody, it's to impress upon you. I don't need more money. I really don't. My business is doing very well. I can generally not do anything the rest of my life and be fine. I don't want to be bored. My vision is to truly help people, right? I'm involved in a lot of nonprofits. I'm involved in and that's what money does for me, right? So we look to bring money in to do other things. Money becomes a tool for us. And I'm watching people, right, learn the wrong way. I'm watching people stumble. I'm watching people hit roadblocks and quit when they shouldn't quit. And when we work with them, we help them think a different way, right? We figure out from the far end, what is your ultimate goal? Let's work backwards. How do we get there? Right? Because so many people are like a dog chasing their tail. They don't know what they want.
Absolutely.
And it's just they get nowhere. They get nowhere fast. So we can hit them. We can get them laser focused, right, and put a plan in place, and then they're held accountable. And here's the thing: they need to go through a mentorship. Like I need a mentorship. And if your mentor doesn't have a mentor, you're probably with the wrong person, right? Because every mentor needs a mentor, right? You need to be held accountable. And if I'm going to be honest, I fall off track a lot. You know, people present me with business models all the time. And I'm always, you know, I'm an entrepreneur. Hi, I'm Dan. I'm an entrepreneur. Hi, Dan. Right? So people hit me with these models all the time, and it doesn't fit and my mentor will hit me all the time. He's like, that doesn't fit your vision. Where in your vision does say you want to do this? So it's important. It's really important.
I loved your post, by the way, today from Warren Buffett about some of the things that he looks for. And, you know, some of them we all know, but to read them again, I saw that earlier today. That was fantastic. I love that. And I love reading about him.
And when Warren Buffett says you need a mentor,
yes,
that's pretty damn impressive. When a guy like Warren Buffett says you need, I'm sure he has mentors all over the place. And his points were not, you made a good point. They weren't financial points. They're life points. You know, your partner, you know, how you treat people, you know, ignore them. I think they all have a lot of validity. I like them. It is. It really is. It is great. And I know people hit me up and they're like, well, he's not the greatest. I don't want to keep. I believe in those 6 points that he has, other than having a job at this point.
Yeah.
You know, I follow 5 of them.
Guys, I want to talk a little bit about this book because this book, in the back of it, it talks about succeeding in real estate, but failing in life. And it basically, your wife is telling you that you were failing as a husband and as a father. Now, me, slow reader, but I started reading this thing, and I got to tell you, if anybody really wants to know about Dan and wants to understand a little bit about his journey and the stuff that he talks about merging markets, gives some information, talks about hedge funds, local banks. What I do like, I love the fact that he's talking about how to raise $1 million or more in 90 days or less. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Sure. Well, I'll start with what happened, right? Back in 2007, 8, 9, 10, right? We had that crash back then. I was still doing deals, right? I still had hard money lenders. I still had banks behind me. At that point, I remember I had 11 deals going. I had 8 that I already fixed and flipped. They were ready to close. They were under contract, ready to close back in 2010. I had 3 deals I was going to fix and flip. So I had money that went hard on all 3 of those deals. Hard money lenders were going to loan me money on those deals. Well, all of a sudden, those 8 deals, the bank pulled out. Banks aren't lending. Banks aren't closing on deals anymore for homeowners back then. Those homeowners for those type of deals, they had to put a ton of money down. I lost the 8 deals I had on the contract. Every one of them did not close. I had to take those back, right? I had to keep those for about 3 years till 2013, keep them as rentals, and I was losing money every single month on those 8. Those 3 deals, I lost the hard money. I lost the hard money on, and my deposit went hard. I lost that. I couldn't do those deals. I figured over 3 years, I lost close to $400,000 in money and opportunity cost because I couldn't recycle that money. I swore to my wife, I said in 2011, it was 2010, by 2011, I swore I would never base my business on a hard money lender or bank ever again. And that's when I decided to put together the raising private money, portfolio. And what I did is I started putting together, I said, you know what? I know a lot of people with money. I'm not going to ask anyone for money. I'm just going to start showing what I do. And I started putting together things like I teach about your bio, your team, private lending presentation, right? Your emerging market presentation, your frequently asked questions, your brochure. I did a professional brochure. Everything I did was professional. And I started doing events. I started teaching people how to do the private lending event. I started doing events week after week, and consistent, whether people showed up or not in an office. I would do it every Tuesday at noon and every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. And I did it, and I would do it for 4 to 8 people. And I would just present my deals. I would never ask anybody for money. I followed all SEC guidelines. I always had my attorney sign off. You could do this. So I didn't raise money from people until I had 3 meetings with them, okay, in about 30 to 45 days. And I started doing this. And let me tell you what happened. Within 6 months, I raised so much money. I didn't have enough deals to do it, right? Back then, I was raising money at 10, 12% simple interest. Now we're actually teaching people, we're raising money about 6% right now. But we started raising money, and I've raised to this day in brand new money over $30 million, and I've used it in velocity of over $200 million. I can raise so much more money at this point, I don't need it, right? My lenders call me up, and that's only 42 investors, by the way, guys. It's not hundreds. It's 42 investors. Okay, my investors, I speak to them on a weekly basis still. All of them, I speak to them. I've become friends with them. They constantly ask me if I have deals for them, right? Constantly. And they appreciate when I say, listen, there's nothing right now out there that I want to put your money in. It's either overpriced or we can't foreclose on people if we buy non-performing notes. And they appreciate that. Not one of them cares. I can probably give them 4% interest. They would take it because they trust me so much. They know I protected them. They know I did everything in my power to make sure that their deal is protected. And that's what I teach. And I have students now that have knocked it out of the park, guys that have their own funds right now. Guys that, one of my guys, he's co-host on my podcast, the podcast Pass Up to Prosper. It's our podcast. Logan Hostager quit a 6-figure-a-year job and is now making 3 times that amount and has raised over $15 million in 3 years. I got Spencer Shadrick out of Memphis, Tennessee. You got to meet Spencer, I think, Nat. You did. Spencer is now, just so you know, Spencer has probably raised over $10 million, way more than that. He's buying up land and developing houses now. All right.
Nice.
So from when you met Spencer as a wholesaler, that's what he's doing now.
Oh, wow.
We have Ed Pugh, who's running a mastermind himself out of North Carolina. Same thing. Ben Fredericks is running his own events now in the note business, Noteworthy. Same thing. He runs Odell Barnes REO. Came through me. We trained him. All these people have come through me, and they've asked me to fund their deals and partner with them on their deals, which I've done a lot of. And when we partner on deals, I put up all the money. I get a lot of the lion's share. But I went to every one of them and said, why don't you just learn how to raise money yourself? Why are you paying me all this money? And once again, because I'm not chasing the money. I want to, if I see somebody has the ability to do so much better for themselves, why come to me for all your money? So most of them said, I just don't know how to raise money. We worked with them, and they started raising money. Jake Penny, another one in Pennsylvania, first-time home flip. Got his money, got enough money for his house, went to flip his house. He actually got put on HGTV, first-time home flipper. The stories just go on and on and on and on. The thing is, a lot of people buy our training because we do it online. We do it one-on-one. A lot of people buy our training. Very few actually do the work, right? Very few. Like anything else, I always tell people, I said, listen, I don't want you to buy my training and not do the work. Like, it's not about money for me. I don't charge that much in it. It's not nearly about the money. So that's why I put together our mastermind group, because I was sick and tired of people buying stuff and not doing anything. I said, you know what? I got to make it cheap enough, which is a mistake, but I still did it, make it cheap enough to get people in. And we sold this thing out like this. And I cannot believe the people that come in our group that we help. And it's great because now it's people that invest in themselves. They want to partner with each other. It becomes a family. So that's why I love it.
Hold on one sec. We're going to be right back after this commercial break. But someone else, if you guys are interested in what Dan's talking about, go to this link, investorsmoneylink.com, and you can see some of the information that Dan's talking about. I'm going to leave it, the whole show, I'm going to leave it on the bottom so you can take a look at the information after. Don't go now. Wait until after the show.
Hi there. I'm Lee Perlman. I'm a consumer bankruptcy attorney. I've been helping people get a financial fresh start since 1994. You can reach me at NewJerseyBankruptcy.com or 856-751-4224.
And we're back.
Yes.
just like that. I was trying to cut you off, Dan, but once you get going, you know, you like me, I say hello for 45 minutes. You know what I mean?
Remember that? You remember that?
Smart ass.
Like they said, Matt, you have 15 minutes to talk. I said, that's not even enough for him to say hello.
That was in Delaware.
What?
Wait, whose office was that in?
That was in one of the I don't remember. Oh, Berkshire Hathaway office. Yep.
I can't remember his name. Whatever.
It was Walt's office.
That's it. Walt's office. That's it. That was funny. After I was done laughing for 15 minutes, then
you were off the stage. They hooked you.
And we carried on after that. So listen, we're talking about raising private money. Dan, what do you think about these people that throw the stuff out on Facebook or on social media? And I'm thinking to myself, like, are they trying to attract the FCC? Do they want the federal government to come to their house? Is it lack of training? Well, hold on, let me ask this question. Why do you think people don't invest in themselves enough to find out how to do things the right way? And then once they get their asses in a sling, then they're like, oh, maybe I should do something. What's your thought on that?
Well, there's one answer why people don't invest in themselves. It's they don't believe enough in themselves that they could be successful. That's it. There's no other reason out there. It's all mindset, right? So that's why they don't invest in themselves. And what do I think about these? They just don't know any better. I mean, I can't hate them because they do it wrong. They just don't know any better. And we've had people come to me afterwards, and the SEC has sent them a cease and desist letter and fined them like 10 grand, and they have to show up with an attorney at their office, right? Here's the other thing. Whether it's legal or not legal, there is nobody on social media with an accredited type investor that's going to see what you put up there and say, boom, I want to invest in you, right? That's not going to happen, okay? That's just not going to happen. The way you find your investors is exactly what we talk about. When we build lists of 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 accredited type investors in your market, we show you how to market to those people in that market. You have to build a relationship. If you're on Facebook, like not one of my lenders is ever going to lend somebody money from a Facebook post. One, it's illegal. Two, you look desperate. If you're so good at what you do, people should be throwing money. Like I literally, if I don't get 10 calls a week or 10 text messages a week saying, hey, we got this money sitting on our IRA. Do you have anything for it? I have all this money in our 401k. Can we do anything with you? I literally get stressed out because I don't have deals for them. It's totally different atmosphere where you're out there and I look at people begging for money and I'm like, man, if you just put some work in, if you just put a little bit of effort in and do this right, you'll build yourself a business. Everybody wants to get rich quick. Raising private money is not get rich quick. I'll always tell you that. And that's why I say raise $1 million more in 90 days or less, right? Anyone that gives you 100,000 has 500,000 behind them. They're not giving you all their money. They're going to test you out at 100, all right? Treat them like gold. Treat your lenders like gold. Always take care of them. Communicate with them. If something goes wrong, pick up a phone and call them. Always pay your lenders back before you make a dollar. Lenders come first. And if you learn to do all this, you're going to be fine. You're going to have people begging you to lend the money to you.
Nicole is asking this question, raising money where? How? Is it a grant? Not-for-profit? What?
You know, it's not a grant. It's not a non-for-profit. We're raising money from accredited type investors, people with money from multiple places, either cash that they have, home equities that they have. We teach them how to use self-directed IRAs. We teach them how to use solo 401ks. We teach them how to do health savings accounts. We teach them how to pay their kids if they own a business and have their kids invest in real estate. If you become a content king or queen, you don't ever have to say I'm the expert. You just teach people with content. And right now, like Matt's doing, you have all this online access. You have Zoom, you have Yardies, you have all these, webinars and go-to meetings. You have everything out there. You have Facebook Live. You just teach people. Don't ask for money. Say, hey, business owners, are you using a solo 401k? Are you paying your kids? Do you know how you can invest? Do you use an HSA? Who has a health savings account? Do you know you can invest in real estate? Money goes in tax-free, comes out tax-free. I'm not an accountant or attorney, and to check me out. Do you know you can pay your kids if you're under 18 years old, over $12,000 a year tax-free? Go check it out, right? When people see that, they're like, oh, my God, I have kids that are young. I have kids that are older. I have to worry about college one day. I have 3 kids. 2 of them are already gone through college. Not one student loan for either of them. Not one for either. Because I had them investing in real estate since they were younger with their Coverdell accounts. Okay? You could pay your kids, put it in a Coverdell, have them invest in real estate. Every wholesaler out here right now should be doing that. Can you imagine, Matt, a wholesaler, right? You could put $2,000 in your kid's Coverdell account, right? You can go out and write a wholesale contract, put $100 down, put $10 down, then assign that contract for $30,000, $40,000. That money goes into your kid's account. That pays for a year of college probably if they go to school. Why aren't people doing it? They just don't know. They want the easy way out. You start talking about that stuff and showing people how to do that. Well, when they put money in their kid's account, who do you think that they're going to use that money to invest with? When you have all these business owners that don't have solo 401ks and you show them how to save on taxes with a solo 401k and then use that money to lend and make passive income, who do you think they're going to work with? But everybody just wants to go on Facebook and say, I have this great deal. I guarantee you 12% return. First of all, if anyone guarantees you anything, you better run as fast as you could. Even if you're mad, you better run. Do not walk. I'm telling you. If anyone guarantees anything, run. The only thing I guarantee is I will work as hard as I possibly could to protect your money, but I can't guarantee anything because I don't, there's an apocalypse coming. Who knows? I can't guarantee anything, right?
What about death and taxes? Can you guarantee that?
I can guarantee death. I can't even guarantee taxes because how many people don't pay them?
Oh, it's a shit show.
It is.
It's a shit show. I want to ask you something. Well, you know what? Let me do another commercial. We'll come right back.
I'm scared of these commercials because I know I have a feeling one of these commercials is going to be that video.
Listen, I got advertisers that are paying. I got to take care of these people. They're flipping the bill.
What's going on, guys? It's Matt Merenoff, Real Estate Recovery Group. Are you interested in kicking that, out of the competition? Well, you don't have to wait any longer. Look, if you're a real estate agent, if you're an investor, if you're interested in finding out the correct way, the right way, and doing things easy way, then you must tune in to Short Sale Bootcamp Expo. Guys, you're going to learn lead gen. You're going to learn information about foreclosures. You're going to learn information about credit, clearing title, working with the buyers, having the correct packages put into place every single time, investor guidelines, leveraging private money, proper lending practices, submitting the packets every single time so you can successfully kick the out of the banks and get to the closing table every single time. Who's going to benefit from this? Well, realtors, attorneys, paralegals, investors, mortgage people, hard money people, other short sale companies. Guys, remember, I don't have competition. There's only opportunity. And most important, helping homeowners. If you're interested, this is an online event. And remember, it's not a no until you get a restraining order.
And we're back. Dan, every guest that comes on the show, I ask people because I want people to realize that although you're really great at what you do, you don't like to be called a guru. You're just a guy that had a concept. You've been doing it for 30 years. I ask people, I want to know a fun fact because I want people to know, I want people to understand who you are and what you do. Now, as a kid, I guess you had many goals and dreams as a child growing up, and you joined the U.S. Navy. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, your main goal was to be a fighter pilot.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you must have went bonkers for what was that show with that movie? With, who?
Top Gun?
Yeah, Top Gun.
Yeah, I'm Maverick, brother.
Okay. All right. You could be Maverick if you want.
You could be Goose.
I'll be Goose. I'll be good. Well, we're actually about the same weight right now, so it actually makes sense. You got the Tom Cruise body. Lee, I don't even know if I can, this is bothersome, but is it true that you wanted to star in Brokeback Mountain?
Of course. Why not?
Most people don't know that you dreamt and trained for many years to become a cowboy.
And that's not a Cowboy fan. I was a cowboy.
A cowboy.
A cowboy. I was out riding horses.
Cowboy.
Not a Dallas Cowboy. I was riding horses. Wanted to be in the rodeos. I was like, man, I was pretty serious back as a kid. I was like, told my parents, I'm going to be a cowboy. They were not happy. I said, I'm doing it.
So Dan, what age was that? I'm curious.
That was 10 years old.
10 years old. Okay.
And I remember it was 10 because I told you, they sent me to this damn gymnast. I played football and baseball, and my brother was in the gymnastics, and they thought it was a good idea to send Dan to gymnastics. I'd never done gymnastics a day in my life. So at gymnastics camp, they had your major was gymnastics. It was almost like school. Then you had some minors like art, skeet shooting, horseback riding. And I kept leaving gymnastics and sneaking over to horseback riding. And at the end, I was like really good. And I came home and I told my parents, I decided I'm going to be a cowboy. That's what I'm going to do. And like they were serious, like upset. And I'm like, no, I'm doing it. That's what I'm doing. I want to go to cowboy school and be a cowboy. True story. I'm
I never
honest.
saw any of the pictures.
What's that?
I never saw any of the photos, the pictures.
Oh man, if I could only get those up, man. They're probably long gone by now. And when you
Can you even ride a horse?
Oh man, I ride with the best of them, man. I'm good. I could still ride a horse. I'm telling you.
So if I made a date for you to come up here to Jersey to one of the corrals up here, or whatever the hell,
all day long.
You're telling me you can you do barrel jumping?
That horse might not want to pick my butt off and go that high, but I could ride a horse.
All right.
Yeah, fine. That was pretty. Yeah, let's do it. We got Lee on there too. Listen,
Lee, can you ride a horse?
No,
I can drive a car.
No, we're all riding. We'll be like the three amigos. I want to see you do the dance.
I don't think that hat could fit on my head. Most people don't know I dreamt and trained for many years to be a cowboy. I mean, it's right here.
It's true. It's true. You've met my father before. You have to ask my father if you ever see him again. He'll tell you the story.
Let's call Howard right now. Hold on.
Your show is not long enough to get him on the phone, but he'll laugh at it. Believe me. Good story.
He likes to talk more than me.
It's all fun.
Somebody actually asked me when my next boot camp is. My next boot camp is going to be we're trying to make this thing go live. We're figuring out do a countdown the next day or two. We're trying to do April 1st. It's education on demand. It's not a live event. And the education, you can go on back and forth a billion different times. And it's going to have Dan's stuff on it. Dan's actually one of the guest speakers on it, and he talks about, raising private capital and stuff like that. He's going to kill me because I know he's actually raising the prices, right? You're going to raise the price for raising private capital. So if anybody who's interested, definitely hit that link and find out information about it. I don't know.
We kept it down for a while, and we've upgraded a lot of it, and we just haven't raised it yet. We probably have about 500-600 people a year pick up that training, and a good 20% of them do very well. I mean, like from a couple 100,000 to you heard the stories. You'll see the testimonials left and right. I tell people, if you're going to buy it, go through everything. If you follow my steps and you stay consistent, I could promise you're going to raise private money. You just have to go through the steps, use the paperwork, put together your presentations, do what I do. It's exactly what I do in my business day in and day out to raise all the money I raised. I don't do it anymore because I really don't need to. Once you get to a certain point, you might not need to do it anymore, right? You get to your, once you raise a few $1 million, how much do you, if you're a fix and flipper, how much do you really need to raise? I mean, there's only so many deals you're going to do anyway. You raise $1, $2, $3 million, you're done.
Listen, if you're going to be like that, and you're looking for charity donations, whatever. Listen, you want to send me to Fat Boy Camp? Oh, can I even say Fat Boy Camp?
I don't know. You can't say a lot anymore. I don't know.
Lee, this could be the last episode, Lee.
You're going to get us canceled. Dan, I wanted to ask you something. I mean,
Sure.
you talk about your students, and you talk about raising money, which raising capital, and it sounds like you're teaching a lot of people. But why do you think that only 20% of the people take the time to follow steps, and 80% of the people, like you say, are rushing on Facebook and not following the process? What do you think accounts for that? I mean, it sounds like a lot more people could, if they took the time. And look, I see it in my practice. People don't want to really look at a budget. They don't want to follow any steps. They just, they rush to have things done the easy way, and it often doesn't work out. What are your observations on that?
Well, that's a great question. We talk about it all the time, and it's basically, it comes down to this. There's nothing easy. Listen, if we want easy, we'll just go get a job and we'll be a paper pusher, right? Take this paper and file in this cabinet. That's easy, right? But people that want better, most of them want better, but they're not willing to do what it takes to get better, right? So even raising money, it doesn't, I have had people go through this and they've tried it and it didn't work the first time, so they stopped, right? Yeah. It's the people that push forward and persevere that do well, right? And that's a mindset, right? Everybody wants that doesn't like their job, because there's people that love their job. Everybody that I've mentored that wants to quit their job can quit their job. Then you have people that I talked about, like Logan, who the guy has every excuse you can make in the world, and that's why he's my co-host of my podcast. Every excuse you can make in the world, he didn't make. Full-time job, making over 6 figures a year, corporate America, a wife, 2 kids, and his wife got pregnant, a baby. He has 3 little girls, quit his job, made enough money to exceed what he was making in corporate America, 6 figures a year, quit his job, and now he's making 3 to 4 times that amount already. So it's because he did what it took. He grinded it out, did what it took. And you know what? He lost so many times. And it's like Rocky says, Matt and I, we love Rocky Balboa. It's not how hard you get hit. It's how you get up and keep fighting. I love that pay. That's right here above that wall right there. We have the same picture, because it's everybody wants success, but is everybody willing to do what it takes to get there? And people want the easy way out. They want to get rich quick. Listen, I just lost 30 pounds, right? I want to lose 70 pounds like this. I wanted to lose it overnight. It took me I'm 48. It took me it's 48 years to get where I'm at now. It's not going to be overnight where I lose the weight. So everybody wants everything instantaneously, and that's how this world is now. And unfortunately, that's the reason. That's really the reason that we say is nobody's willing to do the work. Because literally, in my mentorship, there is not one thing I leave out. I don't put this together and say, oh, you got to buy something else. I give you everything you possibly can need. You just have to do the work and do it, right? And most people aren't willing to do the work. That's the bottom line.
I think that's a great observation. In my firm, I try and build a culture where people can fail well, right? We're very aware of our mistakes. Make a mistake in a case, everybody knows about it. Why? So we're not making the same mistake again for the next client. And we're pretty transparent, but it takes a while to get to that point, and we're still working at it here. Yeah.
Oh, then.
No, I was going to say we'll always make mistakes, and even when I had a team and a staff, because I was in corporate America, and I do consulting with businesses right to this day. I get called into businesses, and it's a lot of, for some reason, dental practice and insurance companies. I get called in to consult with them, and the biggest problem is the staff. It seems like the owner of the company is generally not a good CEO. He might be the dentist, she might be the dentist, they might be the insurance broker, but they're not a good CEO. And the problem the staff seems to always have is they don't feel like they can give ideas, because if they make a mistake, the boss is going to hold it against them. And I follow that rule with like how Google follows it. They have the idea think tank. They want ideas on the board. Own that idea. If you make a mistake, that's perfectly fine. We learn from it. We build it. Either we trash it or we go forward with it. And your staff has to feel empowered like that. If they feel empowered, you're going to grow.
Well, guys, we're actually coming towards the end. We actually went over a little bit. I don't want to cut anybody off. I know, Dan, you got your hair done, and
I did my hair for you.
Lee's his hair is just natural.
He's living life. That's why.
Dan, is there anything you want to say in closing to anybody that's watching this? And obviously, we're going to leave it up, and it's on all the social media platforms. Any words of wisdom for somebody that might want to say to someone?
Yeah, the couple of things I want to say, and I always talk about this at every event. It's figure out your vision and your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? That's great. You definitely want to get the book, Pass the Process, read through it. You'll get a lot more knowledge on not only my why, but in my vision, but how I do it. But you really want to figure out, before you get in any business, anything you're doing, figure out why you're doing it, and then work backwards and make sure everything you do fits your vision and your why. Okay? And figure out the right way. Follow a leader, follow a mentor, whoever it is. If you want to learn short sales, follow a mentor, follow Matt, somebody who's doing it now, and let them VIP your success, fast track your success many years. And it's not costing you money. It's never a cost. It's an investment. If you don't invest in yourself, you got to start looking at why you don't value yourself enough to invest in yourself. And I might not work with you because I don't take on every person, and I don't do one-on-one mentorship anymore. It's group. I do a group mastermind, so much better because it's a family. We all work with each other. But start thinking like that up front. Understand your vision, understand your why before you do anything else. And then learn the right way to do it. Don't take shortcuts. Shortcuts will never get you long-term business. So that's really all I have.
Lee, anything you want to add?
No, I just want to say, I mean, this was just a fantastic event. I mean, we really had a chance to talk about a lot, and it went by like this. Dan really had a lot of information that people should be considering.
Well, cool. Just a little inside joke. It would have gone by a little bit nicer, a little bit smoother if Dan had overnighted chocolate milk to me, but he didn't. and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Matt, where have you had the best chocolate milk?
In Delaware.
And I would send it to you, but it's all in the closet right now.
The problem is, the reason why it's so good is because you got a chocolate cow in your backyard. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Dan Zitofsky, Daniel Matthew Zitofsky, thanks so much for coming on. Lee Perlman Esq, and I'm Matt Merenoff. And it's not a no until you get a